Hello, BookTube. Well, I have a chance. I'm going to do this book report. I've been kind of looking forward to doing this and kind of dreading it too, because it's a deep, dark, heavy-duty subject matter. And it's called The Conspiracy Against the Human Race by Thomas Ligotti. Thomas Ligotti is a... Let me just get my... settled there. Got my writing desk out with me on the porch. Thomas Ligotti is a horror fiction writer, and I want to say, about 15 years ago, he wrote a book um, really delving into why it has so much appeal, like all the psychological, philosophical underpinnings of why people kind of take a weird comfort in horror fiction. And when I was reading this on my e-reader, my Kindle, I was highlighting the crap out of entire passages, sometimes entire pages. But the reason why I picked up this book is because I read a story of his called the Feast of the Harlequin, in a Cthulhu anthology book, Great Tales of the Cthulhu Mythos. And that was actually his first story, his first published story, which he revealed in this book. But it goes like this. Ligotti basically examines the pessimist philosophers that pretty much posited that life is a curse. Life is a cursed existence. Something went really wrong when humans were born because we're the only living creatures that are cursed with consciousness. In other words, we know we're going to die one day. We don't know the how, we don't know the exact when, but it's going to happen. One day, you're not going to be here anymore. And no one really knows what lies after that. And of course, the pessimist philosophers say basically it's nothing. It's a dirt nap. The lights go out and that's it. And wouldn't it be better if you just hadn't really ever been born at all? And I'm sorry to say, depending on my mood, sometimes I really do feel like this. Like, what is the point of life? I mean, what am I here to learn? What is this massive contraption called existence, and how am I supposed to function in it? And a lot of people don't want to deal with those big questions, so they kind of create a narrative for themselves. Family, pursuit of money, pursuit of power, devotion to their religion of choice, what have you. They have to make it mean something for them because they just can't deal with the fact that you're here. This is existence, and that's it. I want you to think of the Lieber and Stoller song that Peggy Lee once sang back in the 50s. Is that all there is? And to be honest, ever since I heard that song, the light bulb went up. There's my husband. Hi, hubby. Ever since I heard that song, the light bulb went off. And it's like, oh my God, she gets it. She gets it. She's basically like, is that all there is to a fire? Is that all there is to a circus? Is that all there is to romance? And of course, she says in the final verse of the song, if that's the way she feels about it, why doesn't she just end it all? And she says, almost kind of like, wearily, oh no, not me. I'm not ready for that final disappointment because I know as sure as I'm talking to you now that when I'm drawing my last breath, I'm going to be singing, is that all there is? So yeah, I was reading this book and really just kind of, it was almost like it was written for me. I got to tell you, because I got it. I don't know if that means I'm manic depressive or if I'm pessimist or what, but I got it. And when it basically examined this whole life philosophy under the lens of horror fiction is a safe space in horror movies and horror entertainment in general. It's a safe space to deal with these big questions. Like, we know we're going to die. That's what horror fiction says. Horror is about loss of control. It's about fighting an unbeatable, scary, incomprehensible event or person or creature or entity or whatever, and maybe not making it out alive. Your whole life gets ruined, your whole soul gets eaten, that kind of thing. And Lovecraft was the king of all that. Humanity means nothing, according to Lovecraft. Humanity's aspirations, all of its accomplishments, its governments, its architecture, its buildings, it means nothing because out there are cosmic forces that don't even know we exist. And if they knew we exist, they'd probably squash us like a bug because My God, you're ants. Who cares? And that whole pessimist philosophy is what informs uh, horror fiction in general, and cosmic horror in particular. And that's why I don't know. And I hate to say it, there must be something wrong with me because sometimes when I'm in the mood for like cosmic horror, it's almost like a comfy blanket. It's like, oh, everything does suck. There is no point to everything. So I'm just going to wallow in this wonderful feeling of there is no hope. And I'm just going to read about how these people deal with it and fail because we all know that's going to happen anyway. And so, yeah, I really appreciated that book because it pulled no punches. It was really grim, really dark, but it's something I needed to explore in my own psyche because you know, I have a husband that's aging. He's probably going to end up dying before me, so I have to deal with that. Um, None of us are getting any younger, so what happens when the lights go out? It's kind of scary to contemplate, and I'm sure a lot of people they feel good that they're going to wake up in heaven with all their loved ones. And to be honest, I hope that's true. I really do. I hope that that final breath isn't the end. That would be nice. I could see my dad again, to see all the people that went before me. That would be cool. But I'm not gonna allow myself the luxury to believe that because all things being equal, I think that's very unlikely. Um, Once you do the dirt nap, you're not coming back, and that's it. Um, but again, I mean, that thought doesn't scare me as much as it used to. Of course, I don't want to die. I'm not suicidal or anything like that. But because I love life, I love reading books, I love music, um, I love hanging out here on the porch, writing in my journal. Um, so yeah, I don't want to go just yet. I have at least another 20 years. Let's see, 30, 56, at least another 25 years of me, I hope. Barring any meteors streaking through the atmosphere or any falling pianos down in a city street. But I've got a very dark sense of humor, and I'm not I'm not afraid to use it because I'll give you an example. Once upon a time, I'm in the flight attendant lounge, and one of my colleagues asked me, hey, or someone I knew, hey Gary, how you doing? It's hey, what's going on? So what you been up to? It's oh nothing. I'm just counting off the days until my inevitable demise. Just said it like right out, like it was a normal thing. And this woman I didn't know across from me, she's just like, did you just say you're counting off the days until your inevitable demise? Because her ears couldn't have believed her. And I think that's funny that someone would find that like, how, why would you say something like that? Well, because it's kind of true in some cases. But yeah, so yeah, I was I got a lot of that book, but it went to some dark places that I really didn't, I wasn't uncomfortable with it, but it got pretty close. So I basically, just, after that, I'm reading something, kind of light, not light, but a little more wholesome called, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And I'll give you the report on that when I'm done. But yeah, if you feel you can deal with that subject matter, and if you're into horror fiction, check out, I'll put a picture in here somewhere once I figure it out. A Conspiracy Against the Human Race by Thomas Ligotti. Take care, folks. I'll speak to you soon.